Is Islam a religion of peace or tyranny? Jihad and holy war. Oh. One of the most famous or rather infamous words in the world today. Jihad. Have you ever heard of parents waging holy war against their own children? You would see if you listen carefully to the following, that jihad in the Quran simply means, to try. Try, as in, I am trying to walk fast. That is, jihad. Just read this verse in the Quran. Chapter 31, verses 14 and 15. And we enjoined man regarding his parents. His mother bore him with hardship upon hardship, and his weaning takes 2 years. You shall give thanks to me, and to your parents. To me is the final destiny. If they, jihad, strive to make you set up any partners besides me, then do not obey them. But continue to treat them amicably in this world. You shall follow only the path of those who have sought me. Ultimately, you all return to me, then I will inform you of everything you have done. As you see, the verse is telling you to not set up partners with God, even if the parents try to persuade you. Jihad means to try, strive, or go forward with perseverance. If it means holy war, the above verse will look silly, to have parents waging holy war against their children. Read this verse from the Quran, chapter 47, verse 31. And we will test you, for we know those who jihad, or strive among you, and those who are patient. And we will bring out your qualities. Try replacing the word strive with holy war and understand to yourself how insane it will sound. Jihad or jihada means to strive, and no verse in the Quran portrays it as a holy war. But it is people who have changed the word to mean something it was not originally meant to be. There are many words that has changed meaning over time, but when you read a book written 1400 years ago, you must render it by the original meaning. Quran being the criterion, war is not an Islamic personality, and jihad certainly does not mean holy war. To put it in a nutshell, there is nothing called holy war, according to the Quran. There are some people who go searching on the internet for information that they can use to portray the religion as a murderous ideology. They will find some websites for sure. They will quote carefully cherry-picked verses to help you insult the theology of Islam. Let's look at one of such verses. And kill them, wherever you encounter them. Quran chapter 2 verse 191. Untruthful are those who use this little fragment of the Quran to show that Quran teaches murder and war. It is a deceitful strategy, and anyone who quotes a little part of any book, completely out of context, are utter and complete hypocrites. Those who quote this verse have actually misled you. Well, one fact is, they have not even read the verses prior and after. Take a look at the minor context of this quotation. You will see that the Quran sets a premise, the premise of never being the aggressor in any situation. And read further, you will find the Quran being extremely practical, by telling you to fight only in the case someone is being aggressive towards you, as a people. But immediately the Quran also states, to stop fighting if the other ceases the fight. You cannot kill a single innocent human being. Listen to this carefully. Read from chapter 2, verse 190, to 193. And fight, in the cause of God against those who fight you, but do not aggress. God does not love the aggressors. And kill them wherever you encounter them, and expel them from where they expelled you, and know that persecution is worse than being killed. And do not fight them at the restricted temple unless they fight you in it. If they fight you, then kill them. Thus is the recompense of the rejectors. And if they cease, then God is forgiving, merciful. And fight them so there is no more persecution, and so that the system is for God. If they cease, then there will be no aggression except against the wicked. Can you see how people can mislead you? They have quoted one part of the verse, but not spoken about the surrounding verses. Why? You do not have to be an expert to see the fact. Fighting is only if there is persecution. And if the enemy stops the fight, You should stop too, because, as the Quran says, God is forgiving and merciful. Fighting is only until there is no more persecution. That's it. You can see that the Quran does not tell you to be the victim, but it establishes that you must not be the aggressor. You are allowed to fight back if someone aggressively fights with you. But even then, you are asked to forgive and cease fighting, if the enemy ceases his fight. You are allowed to fight only until the persecution stops. Read chapter 4, verse number 75. It says, you must fight if someone is weak, being persecuted, and are oppressed. Is not that a just statement? And why do you not fight in the cause of God, when the weak, among the men and women and children say, Our Lord, bring us out of this town, whose people are wicked, and grant us from yourself a supporter, and grant us from yourself a victor. Let's talk a little about terrorism, suicide bombers, and killing innocent people. The Quran clearly commands no innocent deaths must occur. Killing an innocent is like killing the whole of humanity. Read Quran, chapter 5, verse 32. It is because of this that we have decreed for the children of Israel, anyone who kills a person who has not committed murder, or who has not committed corruption in the land, then it is as if he has killed all the people. And whoever spares a life, then it is as if he has given life to all the people. Our messengers had come to them with clarities, but many of them are, after this, still corrupting on the earth. It is a normal accusation, that Islam has tyrannical laws, and fundamentalism is looked down upon like a plague. Above are some fundamentals of Islam. Think about them. Ponder over them. The claim that Islam allows you to randomly assassinate people, or groups of people, due to their creed, is false, and is clearly shown. The Quran teaches that you cannot kill, unless the recipient has committed murder. Punishment to one person cannot exceed their crime. When the Quran is quoted in this manner, it is a normal and average response by many who like to oppose, that the Quran says, or who has not committed corruption in the land, can be killed, and you can interpret this corruption to be anything. For example, a man slanders you, and he has committed corruption in the land, and you can kill him. Similarly, the Quran gives examples that people with brains to reflect upon. It is a book. You must take the whole book as context, not cherry-pick bits and pieces of verses. Let's make a quick analysis of what the Quran means by the phrase, corruption in the land. Let's together go to the Quran, chapter 27, verses 48 and 49. Refer them by yourself. And in the city were 9 ruffians, who were causing corruption in the land, and they were not reforming. They said, Swear by God, to one another, that we will attack him, and his family, at night, and we will then say to his supporters, We did not witness who murdered his family, and we are being truthful, there you go. What do you see as corruption in the land? The example is very clear. Ruffians, murdering a person, and his family, justifying it. Also notice that the Quran gives a fantastic qualification to this. The murder was not only committed maliciously, it is also done swearing by God. Anyone who kills, in the name of God, are the people who the Quran defines in the verse 5:32 as, those who commit corruption in the land. It has nothing to do with a non-Muslim, or a Muslim, or an alien. This is clearly defining terrorists, murderers, killers, who do their heinous acts, in the name of God. The Quran tells us humans, that we are not even allowed to expect a reward, or a thank you note, for assisting someone. Forget waging war on innocents, or be the cause of an innocent human being's death. This is what the Quran says in chapter 76, verse 9. We only feed you seeking the face of God, we do not desire from you any reward or thanks. Let's summarize what we just discussed. Number 1. The word jihad, as per the Quran, only means, try. If you are trying to do anything, that is jihad. A simple word misunderstood to be holy war. Number 2. War or fighting is allowed only under the conditions of aggression, oppression, breaking of a treaty, oppression of another people who call for help. Even then, as soon as the oppressor stops the fight, you have to stop fighting. Sometimes, the Quran even tells you to provide a safe passage to them. Number 3. Chapter 5, verse 32 says if you kill an innocent human being, it is like killing the whole of mankind. If you save a human being, it is like saving the whole of mankind. Number 4. That verse says unless they are committing corruption in the land, which people think allows for other interpretations, that is wrong thinking. Number 5. Corruption in the land is to kill in the name of God. If you say Allahu Akbar, and murder people, that is corruption in the land. You cannot kill in the name of God. Period. Think. After all, we are humans with intellect. Thank you, and peace to you.